Good day, everybody, and welcome to Wilderness Flash Events. What you're seeing is from day one of this release, and honestly, it is a wild update. I'm only partially sorry for the horrible pun. So first things first, I have a guide for the Civil War Part 2 mini-quest at the very end of this video. It is quite brief of a mini-quest, and the most labor-intensive part of this mini-quest is actually just getting through 4 of these Wilderness Flash events. So this is only a first look. Like I said, it's day 1. I intend to have a video of all the events and a more detailed guide, but for now I want to give a few tips from my very brief experience so far of how this has been, because as you can see, they get really nuts. There are a lot of people doing this, especially right now, and a lot can happen. So I have found some things to be helpful, some things to be annoying. I have done this Ramokee spawn swarm rampage event, and I have also done the evil tree. So I just wanted to walk you guys through those and yeah, help you get through this because it is nuts. Firstly, let me explain what this update even is and what is even happening here if you're not familiar yet. So these flash events in the wilderness happen once per hour. There is a full schedule on Jajex's homepage in the announcements, whatever, where they have the announcements. And there is a set rotation of events that can happen. So these can be combat events like this one, where a bunch of Ramokees spawn, and as a group of players you need to kill them all. There is another one that I've shown here that I mentioned, which is where an evil tree spawns and you need to go through stages of nurturing it, chopping it, and burning it. And there are various others, including one where the King Black Dragon spawns. And there's a version of that I haven't seen yet, but anyways, there are a variety of events that include skilling and combat that appear to provide a lot of experience. And at the end of each one of these things, these events, which takes no more than 10 minutes, like 5 to 10 minutes, you get a reward, like a little wildy sack or a super wildy sack. And that can have rewards from very common things like Chinchampas and Muddy Keys, all the way to, I saw a lot of players getting Dragon Rider boots and such, aka the King Black Dragon's drop table. I myself got a Black Dragon egg for the player-owned farm, which as an Iron account is awesome. And then of course there's the event rewards that everybody talked about upon announcement, which is these super duper onyx things that you can use to make alchemical onyx gear even better. That being the Luck of the Dwarves, the Grace of the Elves, and the other one. I'll just put it on screen here because I forgot. So there are a lot of potentially good rewards. There's also something along the lines of like Wilderness Obelisk shards, so you can teleport to the Wilderness Obelisks willy-nilly. So that's it. For the most part, it seems like the rewards are as expected, very common and trashy most of the time. However, there are some rarities in there. So that's the idea behind these events. And of course, you do need to complete 4 of these to fully complete the Civil War II mini quest. You can also get information on the upcoming flash mob events from Nikkel, the little imp in Edgeville here, and the Wandering Ramokee. You can speak to them about the events and they'll tell you where or what the next upcoming one is. They'll give you a general idea of where to go in the wilderness. I see they have a right-click teleport option. I think if you've done at least 4 of these, you can teleport to the location. I'm not sure how it works yet, though. Now, as far as actually participating in these events, few things. So here I'm doing the evil tree, and this one is actually a 3-for-1. So I'll say quickly, if you need to complete 4 just for the mini quest, try to get this evil tree one, because there's actually 3 events in one that happen within like 8 minutes, and I didn't even realize that'd be the case, but since I did the Ramokee one earlier, I did these 3 evil tree events and I'm able to do the mini quest. Anyways, there may be other events like that are kind of 2-for-1 or 3-for-1, but I don't know yet. I'll post a video about that later. So they're pretty simple events. The last one you saw was a combat event. This one involves gathering bones from the base of this tree, which happens pretty quickly. You click to grind all the bones, and then you add them to the evil tree to nurture it. You will get farming experience for this when it's done. And it seems to be a pretty good chunk of experience for the amount of effort put in, as you can see on screen when it does pop up. The next phase of this tree here is to chop it, because it's evil, and spoiler alert, after it's chopped down, you'll collect kindling and burn it down. Now for general advice. So A lot of players have responded very differently to these kinds of events. One thing that is infuriating most players is having a follower, like a pack yak in the particular case of these recordings. There's no reason to bring a pack yak. I actually overstocked on food in all these events. It's really not necessary because at least right now there are a ton of people just swarming the area when these events happen. So don't bring any familiars like Beast of Burden or whatever, because you can click on them on accident instead of clicking on the tree or other things to attack, and it is very annoying. And if you're on the Mexico server like I am, at least, a lot of people will swear at you in Spanish. So it's hilarious, but don't do it. The other obvious thing you will certainly notice is that wilderness ambushes and volcano strikes are definitely a thing while everyone is out here. So for the most part, your threat level will probably be pretty low, but the longer you go on with these events, the higher it goes up. So you'll be seeing a lot of volcano strikes just hitting random people. If you're in a big crowd of everybody, just keep an eye on your health. Make sure you're not the one that gets hit. Bring some food in case you do. And of course, there will be ambushes all the time if there are a ton of people here. So you can ignore them for the most part. Typically, people just kind of pile them and kill them anyways. I recommend, for that reason, bringing more armor and weapons instead of skilling gear. From what I'm seeing so far, it doesn't seem like skilling specific gear helps you very much. There's not even a lot of experience from actually chopping the tree itself in this case, for example. You'll see that most of the experience from this event comes at the very end, where you're just awarded a chunk of woodcutting experience. So far, like I said, the experience seems pretty good in each of the skills that I used here: farming, woodcutting, and firemaking. I got between, it looks like, 60-something thousand and 40,000 something experience. Considering all in all, this is less than, or about 8 minutes of work. It's not too bad. Since we're on the subject here, when you get to the burning down stage of the evil tree, you use whatever kindling you have in your inventory from cutting it, and then you collect these little blobs, like fire wisps, for more kindling. It looks like they're independent to each player, so other players can't grab yours, but once you grab kindling from one, it disappears. So the idea is to run around grabbing kindling as they pop up, and just grab until you have a full inventory, or however many you want, and then click on the tree to dump all the kindling there, and keep doing that until it burns down. Of the evil tree event, this seems to be like the part that takes the longest. Because note that also people are just getting distracted by increasing wilderness mobs as threat level goes up. So everybody is just all over the place. That's about all there is to this for now. Like I mentioned, I will have more in-depth guide, and I'll try to cover all the events. But the idea is really just keep an eye on your own HP, make sure you're clicking not people's pack yaks that other people are threatening, and I believe the more that you participate in the activity, the more rewards and better experience you get. So try to be as active as you can for the thing, try to kill as many of the mobs as you can, etc. for the best rewards. Please remember to like this video and subscribe as well if you want more guides like this, and if you found this at all helpful. And now just enjoy the Civil War Part 2 walkthrough and cutscene that ensues. Thanks for watching, everybody.